I've been told this blue crown conure is a little bit spicy. I was told correctly. I think by the end of this beak and nail trimming session, we're going to be friends. Things are looking promising already.
Oh, you're quick.
This bird's nails are both long and sharp. Long nails can be detrimental to the bird's foot health. Over time, they can cause incorrect perching position. This can lead to joint and tendon problems and even arthritis. Nails that are also sharp can be a tangle risk. They can get the bird caught up in items inside the cage and around the home. We're going to get that taken care of for him. This bird also has a very sharp point on the tip of his beak, which is common for blue crown conures, but we're going to take care of that too. This bird's caretakers have noted that he's quite snippy. Some birds communicate with their beak more than others. Rounding off the tip makes it a little bit safer for his handlers, and it doesn't negatively affect the bird in any way. I'm using my ceramic bit on my rotary sander to smooth the edges and shape the beak a little bit. As always, I keep the touch light and the sander is always moving. I'm not taking off any length here, I'm just giving it a better shape overall. Remember, a bird's beak is made of keratin, and this end part is just like the end of our fingernails. And speaking of fingernails, it's time to remove the excess length on these claws. Because these claws are black, I have to remove just a little bit at a time to ensure that I don't hit the blood vessel or quick that's inside of each one. Of course, just like any groomer, I always try to avoid this, but it can happen. When I'm trimming nails, I keep a little jar of styptic powder on hand and close by just in case that happens. White flour or cornstarch could also be used, but I like using styptic powder because it works very quickly. Next, I'm going to use the same rotary sander with a ceramic bit to round the tips of the nails. Just like the beak, the nails are made of keratin, and this sander removes just a little bit at a time. Sometimes I have to reposition the towel a little bit just to keep my fingers out of reach. And the towel is all that's holding the bird in place. There's no pressure on his body, and it's not wrapped around him in any way. The folds of the towel on each side of the bird's body are just a distraction to keep him a little bit more busy. Putting any kind of pressure on a bird's delicate body can cause compression to the air sacs, which assist their breathing. Parrots' lungs are stationary, but there are 9 air sacs throughout the body which work as a bellows system and move the air through the lungs. So while I'm working, I have to be aware of where the bird's beak is, and also that I'm not putting any pressure on any of these air sacs. Mickey's beak is looking a lot less scary, and his nails are at a reasonable length, and they're so much more comfortable to handle. Plus, he can now safely go about his day and not have to worry about getting tangled up and hurting himself. We're both in one piece, and I call that a win any day.